sound on. Transition over to the talking screen, and hello everyone. How are you doing, Mama?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Doing all right.
There we go.
Let's see. Do I have anything fun and interesting to share from the last couple of days? Not
I
really.
don't know.
Yeah, I don't have anything fun and exciting.
Ah,
Did you have anything you want to share, Mama?
nah,
Yeah. All right.
nah.
That makes it Sudoku. Just get straight into it. All right. First puzzle for today is going to be Spring Has Sprung. Spring has, capital H, sprung. Does seem like I have typing sounds showing up on. I'm gonna go. Maybe it's light enough that it's not. But anyway, link in the chat if you'd like to give it a go. This is Spring Has Sprung by Blobs. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Along slow thermometers, digits stay the same or increase as they move away from the bulb. Alright. Slow thermometers are pretty interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I'm being silly. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4 again, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 or 9. This can be 8 or 9, but this is 7 or 8. This can be 6 or 7. This can be 5 or 6. 4 or 5. 4 or 5. 4 or 5. 4. 3. 3. 1 or 2. And that's going to give us 1 or 2. So,
There's a 1, 2, and a 5, 6 pair in row 5 now.
yeah. Well, at least after the 5, 6, it's forced to be the same. Like, well, not necessarily. I could go, 1 is a 5, 1 is a 6. After the 6 has to be a 7, but I could do a 7 right after the 5. So we don't really have forced things. This 3, 4 pair over here is going to force some things. But I guess, like, whichever one of these is a 2 is going to force all the way around
Right.
up to the 5, 6. Say again?
Right.
And then that will force on the other side down from the 5, 6 all the way to the 1 on the other side. So whichever one we learn is a 1, we know all of that up to the 5, 6. Which means these two are the same. These two are the same. These 3 are the same. Since these two are the same, this is a red one too. Orange, purple, green. So orange be there. And I should really paint these as... Yeah, I should paint these different. Because 1 is either red or blue. 2 is either red, blue, purple, or yellow. Now, if I take out the purple and yellow, if red is 1, then this is blue. And so this would be 2, and then and so if I make this 3, 3 is going to be yellow. So if this is 1, then red is 2, and yellow is 3. Which makes this yellow, or green for 4. And then this is either green or purple. And then we get purple and orange. Although I don't know if purple and orange are necessarily that helpful. Although I don't know if this pattern is really helpful. I know that yellow is one of these two. One of those is 3, one of those is 3. One of these two is 4, one of those two is 4. One of these two is 5. Where is red in this column? It's a 1 or a 2, so it can't be on the thermos.
Right.
So blue is also going to be over there. And if this is red, if this is 1, and then this is 2, then I get 2 here. But then that will be yellow. So I won't know where the 1 is. Yeah, I won't know where 1 is. But I will know where 2 is. Because if this is 2, then that's 2. that's 2, then that's 2. So 2 is one of these two. Oh, small problem. Blue could be here in column 9 because of the way that this thermo is rotated. So I won't know where 2 is if 2 is blue.
Well, do they have to be 1, 1 and 2, 2 coming from
Yes.
the center? Why can't one be 1, 2, 3, 3,
Because
and the other is 2, 2,
of the 5,
3, 3?
6. Because if I do 1, 1, 3, 3, and these are both 3, 3, then I'm going to get 2 4s here.
Oh,
But
right.
even if that resolved, then I'm going to have 5s and 5s, and I'm going to have the 6 and 6. So
Right,
we
okay.
know up to here, after that, the 7, it could be a pair of 7s, and then an 8 and a pair of 9s, and without conflict. That I can tell, at least. It might make a problem in some other places, but I'm not sure yet. I'm not certain if this coloring is helping, but I am going to keep these, because I know that for sure. I want to ask the question, can these two be the same? If they're the same, they're both 9s. So where's 9 in here? It's not going to be here or there, and it can't be either of those. And one of those. I guess I should just simply ask, where can 9 go in these two boxes? It can't go on the thermo. It can't go on the thermo here, or there. So that means this is a 9. And that's just given by the thermos.
Right.
Because it can't go here, here, any of those, or those.
Well, column 2 is the same way.
Either of those, either of those, or those. That's a 9.
And so 9 goes in row 9 in box 8.
And row 1 of box 2. So then it's going to be one of those two and one of those two. Then take out boxes 2 and 8. What about row 2? I don't know why I'm asking row 2. We just did row 2. It's right there. We know one of these two is 9.
Well, and in columns 2 and 8, along with the 5s, 6s have to be there. Don't they?
Columns 2 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
No. Because it can go 5, 7 on and 6, 7 on both sides. We can like this could be a 5 and then immediately a 7. So I'm not guaranteed a 6.
Okay.
Because one of these two is going to be a 2. And if it's a 2, let's say it's this one, that's going to go 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6. And then the 6 on this side is going to make this a 5, and that's going to wrap backwards in the other direction. 4, 4, 4, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. So we know that those have to be one or the other. Chip Challenger says, "Hey, Chip, how are you doing today?" I guess we get 2s in these positions. Though, because it crosses the box boundary, it's a little difficult. But after the 5, 6, the 5 could have the 7 right after.
Right.
But the 2 is going to wrap all the way to the end. So I guess, let's say this one was the 2, and it wraps all the way up to the 9 up here. If this was an 8, then the 9 would have to be here. Which means the 9 in these boxes is one of those 2. Where can I put the 9 in here? I guess it's a C shape. If this is the 9 because this was the 2 that wraps all the way around, then the 9 can go like this. So that's not super helpful.
Center digit is a 7, 8, or 9.
Right here, box.
Yeah. Because it sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, it definitely does. Right, should be those 2. Should be these. Where is green in this box? It's not here. It's not there. And it can't be any of those. So green is one of those 2, and then purple is going to be one of these 2 in response. So that's going to be my 4, 5 pair. Now, the 4 cannot go in the middle. So my 4 is one of those 2. So where is yellow? Yellow's not there. And now yellow is 2 or 3. So it can't be that in these 3 either. So I guess the conclusion of that is that 3 has to go like this, which isn't very useful. 3 is in one of the corners. So then what? Well, whichever one, if I do a 7, an 8, and a 9, then I'm going to have to put the 7 up here. No, it will go 7, 8, 9, 9. So the 8 that pairs with the 9 will be up here as one of these two. And then one of those two is 8. This could be blue. This could be red, which would make this yellow, or this one orange. If this is 1, then this is a blue 2, an orange 3, a yellow 4, if this is a blue 1, a red 2, red 2, it would be a yellow 3, and an orange 4.
Boxes 1 and 7, the thermal bulbs, the max they can be is 4. The bulb,
1 and 7.
well, that's 1 and
That's not
9,
1
but
and
I'm
7. 1 and 7.
right. Because they can't be 6. I mean, well, the bottom one can't be 6 because it would have to go to 9.
Yeah.
But in column 2, the 5 has to go in box 4.
Mm. Now, it can't be a 4 either, because the 4 is required in one of these two.
Right.
I like my coloring is weird.
Well, and in row 8, the 3 is required to be in box 8. And the same with box 2 in row 2. The 3 is required. So you can't have 3 in either of those bulbs. So that's now a 1-2 pair. And one of them is going to have to be followed up with a 3 because there's no other place for a 3 in the column.
Yeah. Where can 8 go in this column now? It can't go on the thermo or the bulb. It's not a 9, and none of those can be 8.
Yep.
And actually, we knew that just
From
from
the
the
beginning.
fact that it was a thermo.
Well, look at column 8. Same thing.
Not quite.
No, look at box 3 again. Can you put an 8 there? What 8 has to follow? There's
Oh,
already a
the
9 in the
9.
box.
Okay, yeah. Let me get rid of this coloring because I confused myself with it. Okay. 8 is one of these two. Where can 1 go in this column then? That can't be a 1, that can't be a 1, 9 isn't 1, none of those can be 1, and that can't be a 1. So this has to be the 1. 2, 1. And now this is a 3, a 4, a 5, 5, 5, 6, 7. So this has to be a 3, a 2, and a 2. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 6, or 7. And now this can't be a 2 because this is minimum 2. So that's minimum 3. Minimum 6. So this has to be the 2.
Column 4, you can place the 8, and then you're left with a 6-7 pair. Okay, column 8 is 3, 6, 7. Five, six, seven, 8.
This has to be a 4. This one has to
Yep,
be.
3.
Chip says, just finished making a puzzle with 12 rule sets. I
Ouch.
called it a dozen rules rush in. That is that is quite the number of rules.
Row 2 has a 6-7 pair.
So it was 8 and 5.
One can be placed in box 3. One can be placed in column 1.
And then box 8, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Box 2 can place your 1.
6, 7, 8, and 5. And 6, 7 pairs just give me a 5. 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Places the 5.
As well as a 3, I think.
Yeah.
Should be 4. No. It's left over. 3, 4, 8, 9. 9, 3, 4.
Row 8 is 6, 7, 8, and row 9 is 4, 6, 7.
6, 7, and 2. 2 placed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 6, 7, and
8, 8.
so this 3 took 3 out of all of those. Leaving the 3 here. Apologies for hitting my desk.
Row 6, 6, 7, 8, 9.
6, 7, 8 triple. It's going to give us this digit, which is a 5.
5.
6, 7, 8, 9 works on 7 or 9. Okay. Red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. Means red's one of these two, or I can say that's red, this one's blue. Red has to be one of these two, and so it must be this one.
Well, that means blue is in box 7 is
Is here.
yeah.
Ta-da! Spring has sprung. Oh, not there. I feel like Blobs does post. I'm not so sure. So I'm a bit surprised.
We have done several blobs puzzles recently.
Yeah. But, oh well.
229 entries. That's quite a few.
Yeah, they do lots of setting. And they still don't have all of them on here? Not that they need to have all of them.
Looks like they're posted weekly.
They are 1 week apart. Well, this puzzle's not on there yet, so I'll go ahead and leave it alone for now. I have nothing else to say about it, so puzzle number 2 for today is going to be Overlap by Black Jack Fits. Link in chat if you'd like to give it a go. This is Overlap by Blackjack Fits. Normal Sudoku rules apply along a marked diagonal. Digits cannot repeat. Cells along a purple line contain a non-repeating consecutive set of digits. These digits can appear in any order. So what that means is that if this was, say, a 1, then we do 2, 3, 4, and 5, but they wouldn't have to be in order like that. I can put the 1 here, the 3 there, and switch the 5 and 4 around. Now, it's interesting to see what's going on over here, that these 4 digits are all from, oops, I didn't get rid of that one, from the same set. But these 3 and those 3 still have to be their own unique sets. Which I think implies something about these corners. Because let's say that this was the set of digits 5, 6, 7, and 8. If this one is the smallest and this one's the largest, I think it works. But if I make this 7 and this 8, 6, 7, 8 works, but 5, 6, and 8 does not work.
Right.
And so these two are going to be the highest and lowest, respectively.
Well, and the 4 that surround box 5 are all 5 long. They all have to have a 5 on them.
Yeah.
Now, it can be shared.
Yeah.
In fact, it has to be shared.
It doesn't have to be. It could be here, here,
Well, this
here,
is true.
and here. Now, I think
If
what we need to talk about... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say the one that's in box 6, if it has a 4, it has to be there.
So, the thing I'm going to talk about is something called the Fistamafel ring. If we take a look
Right.
at the 4 corner boxes, they are 4 sets of the digits 1 through 9. If I highlight rows 2 and 7, then that is going to be 2 sets of the digits 1 through 9. And if I highlight rows, columns 3 and 7, and let's do those in green. Um, then anything. So now I have in blue and green, I have 4 sets of the digits 1 through 9. In red, I have 4 sets of the digits 1 through 9. So if you were to think of 2 containers filled with tiles, let's say they're Scrabble tiles with numbers written on them for funsies, then they have the same Scrabble tiles in each side. These ones here, where the tiles are both blue and green, there's a blue version of that tile and a green version of that tile. So it's duplicated. So it's still 4 sets of the digit 1 through 9. So if I grab from the container that has all the red digits a duplicate version that is green, then let's say it's this tile, right? I take whatever tile corresponds to that particular space from both containers, then I can still say that the rest of the containers are identical, right? So, like, if this one was a 5, which it could be, let's say it was a 2. If it was a 2, I take out a red 2, I take out a green 2, and the containers are still identical. So, if I do that the same here, and anywhere else where it is red and green, and anywhere where it's red and blue, then I take it out of the red set and I take it out of the green set, and it's still identical. And I take it out of the red and the blue-green set. They're still identical. Now these corners, I'm going to take out a red tile that represents those corners, and a green tile that represents those corners, and so they still end up being blue. Now these green tiles, I'm just going to take all of the 6 remaining green tiles out of the container on my right side. I'm going to paint them all blue, but that doesn't change their number. I can say that the red set and the blue set are still the same. That is what makes... so what that means is that these 16 blue tiles are the same tiles as these red ones here. What that allows me to do is to say that I need to place a 5 in these corners here. Because I know that I have to have 4 5s, and I can't put multiple 5s in these corners.
Okay. Since there has to be a 5
Uh-huh.
in column 3 in box 4,
Mhm.
there can't be one in row 3, column 4, because that would repeat.
Right. And
So
that's
then the
going
one
to
that's
do...
in row 3 is placed, because there has to be, and
And
then
then that's
the
going to
one,
take those off the shared spots.
yeah.
Yeah, because if they were on the shared spots, they would be duplicated on
Right.
the thingy, on the red band lines.
Yeah.
I have noticed that a lot of the puzzle rule sets won't call them by their fancy name. Like, this is just a purple line that contains a
Right.
set of non-repeating consecutive digits. But the fancy name of that line is a Renban line. Now, I'm not sure why it's called a Renban. Maybe it's named after somebody. That is the fancy name. Now, the thing that I want to ask the question of is, can I place a 1 or a 9 in these corners?
Now, and the corner with the 5, its opposite is either 2 or 8.
because they have to be the highest and lowest, respectively, from a group of 4. So that would
Right.
have to be 3 away. So these are all going to be from 2 through 8 with no 5s. No 4, no 3, no 7.
And in fact, on the I was gonna say in the 3, 4, 6, 7 is gonna be the
Why can't I copy and paste?
I don't know. Just do it by hand.
But I wanted to copy paste. I sap now. Oh well, I'll get over it eventually, sometime. Maybe this year.
So on the rest of that diagonal, you need to take off the 3, 4, 6, 7, and the other diagonal too.
So that's going to take off 2 8s from everywhere else as well.
So one diagonal is gonna have it leaves 1 and 9 for both diagonals. Something's wrong.
Trying to figure out why, though. Because the 5 is guaranteed, yes? It's
Yeah.
not possible to skip a 5. The 5 has to go in either the highest or lowest position. So 1 and 9 isn't possible in the corners for the Fistumafel ring. But I can't do 4 digits from 1 and 9 here. So how can I include a 1 or a 9 in?
Unless there are only 2 5s on the Fistumafel ring, and they're the 2 overlapping.
That does seem to be the implication. We know that this has to have
Because you
a
cannot
5 in
do
it.
4 5s.
We know this has to remove that one, and this one has to remove that one. But these 2 aren't guaranteed.
Right. Well,
But yeah, so if the
right,
5
because if
is not, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say if it just means that the 5 doesn't have to be in that row on
And I believe it proves it because if the 5s, because if I made this a 5, that would force a 5 here, which would force a 5 here and here. And now I have 4
And we know that
5s.
doesn't work.
Because I wouldn't be able to use 1 or 9 anywhere except for these 4 positions. So it has to be on the 2 overlap spots that remain. Except the 5 that's one of these 2 removes that 5 that's one of those 2 removes that 5. And we're saying it can't be except if I take it out of all of the individual spots, if I place a 5 here, then that would remove it from there and there. So it's either those 2 or it's those 2. I don't. So it was wrong on multiple premises.
Right.
From our starting position. But yeah, so now that we've proven that it can't be the 5 that were, if the 5s were not shared between the 4 Renband lines in the ring, then we would end up with 4 5s up here. We wouldn't be able to use 1 or 9 on the Fismathel ring or the corners, so then we'd end up with the 1 and the 9 all in here, which does not work. So therefore the 5s must be shared. And therefore there are 2 5s. Now, the 2 5s are still going to be 2 5 8. But it's going to be 2 5 8, and then one of them is going to be 1 paired with a 4, and the other is going to be a 9 paired with a 7. 4 and 7 is gone, so this can't be 1 9. You would think I would know how to do math.
I was going to say, doesn't 9 pair with 6?
It definitely does. You'd think I would know how to do math. 4 and 1. 1 and 4. Now, I don't know if the 1 and the 9 is guaranteed. But what I do know is where does 1 or 9 go along this diagonal? And also this diagonal. Well, I can never place 1 or 9 along the middle of these because of the way they're shaped. The outer part of the Renband there that's broken, the the highest and lowest must be on the corners that are not on the main diagonals. So, the 1 and the 9 along, if I just focus on the positive diagonal, 1 and 9 have to go like this. And the same is true in the negative diagonal. Now, when we have both diagonals being okay, I want to ask the question of, can any digit not be in the Fistomathel ring? Could I ignore 1 and 9 is the question. If there is no 1 on the Fistomathel ring, then it has to be not in the red corners either. So where is it on the two diagonals? Well, if it's not in the Fistomathel ring, then it has to be in the center box on both diagonals, which means it would have to be on the 5. Therefore, both a 1 and a 9 must occur on the Fistomathel ring. So that proves that I have to have 1 1, 1 9, and the 2 5s. Those are my highest and lowest corners on the two of here, 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 and here. So I have 1 1, which is going to be 1 2 3 4, and then a 9, which is going to go 9 through 6, 9, 8, 7, and 6. And then I'm probably going to have to do a 5 and a 2 and a 5 and an 8.
Yeah. Well, there's 2 5s.
Yeah.
That are going to be, so they're half, and the 5 2 is opposite 5 8.
Yeah. Right, because if it did go 2 5 and 2 5 on the other side, or 5 8 5 8, then the corners would match. Since the 2 5s have to be, well, do they have to be opposite, or could they not be like this?
Well, I guess they could.
5. Hmm. Okay. I believe. You okay, Mama?
I just had a huge cramp.
Yeah,
I've got a Charlie horse.
that is super unpleasant. Is it resolving, or do you want to just
That's
push
alright, I just got it
past?
stretched out.
Okay.
I just need to see if I can get my heel up on top of something.
Yeah.
There we go.
Um, um, um. So it has to be a 2 and a 5 and a 5 and an 8, because let's imagine I place the 9 right here. Then um, one of these is going to be the 5, and then the other is going to have to be 6, 7, 8. And then somewhere else I have a 1, which is going to have a 5 and 2, 3, 4. Which clearly that's not going to work, but the implementation here is not the important part. It's now that I have this 5, so I've used up my I've used the digits 1 through 5 and 5 through 9 in the corners. So now I need to connect this 5 to this digit here that's going to be a high value, and this 5 here is going to be connected to this low value. And even if this is a 5 and a 4, and a 5 and a 6, in order to connect 5 and 6, 5 would have to be the smallest on the other one over here. Because this is 9 through 8, and this is 1 through 4. So now I need the digits that go with the 5 on the other two corners. And so this is at 6, 7, or 8. And so to connect a 5 to that 6, well, because I've already used it in the corners. So if this was a 6, I could go 5, 4. Although if I do a 5, 4, then it has to be a 5 through a 2. But then theoretically this could go 5, 4, and so I could do 5 through 2. Okay, never mind. I thought that proved what I wanted it to, but it didn't. Do the 1, 3, and 4, are they enough to prove where my 1s go? The 1's not going to be very useful. This one right here. But what about the 3 and 4? So if this was a 1, I could do 5 here, a 2 and a 3, and then a 4 here.
Alright, something I've noticed.
Uh-huh.
The 2 and 5 have a 3, 4 on the diagonal. So,
Yeah. 3,
and
4, 6, 7.
and if you and the 1, 4 have 2, 3 in the middle. So 3 comes off of the diagonal completely. Both diagonals. So 3 is going to go in the vertical in box 5. And for the 5 through 8, it's 6, 7. And the 9 through 6 is going to have 7, 8. So 7 comes off both diagonals. What's the fourth? Oh, because one's 1 through 4 and the other is 9 through 6 through 9.
Yeah. So if we do, well, we know one of them has to be 3, 4.
Right.
So let's say this was the 3, 4. On the other side, I have to do 6, 7, or 8,
Right.
where a 7's guaranteed. So then this would have to be 5 and 8, or 6 and 9.
6 and 9.
Yeah.
Right.
So that is going to give us 5, 8, and 2, 5. Because because I have 2 diagonals, I cannot have 3 3s. So I cannot do a 1 through 4, a 2 through 5, and another 2 through 5. So now the 3 here and the 7 here, so, well, I could have both of the low values on this side and both of the high values on that side, or both high and both low. But I know I have to do a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I'm going to have to connect a 5 to each of those. So now on the others, I have to do 2, 3, 4, and 6, 7, 8. And so the 5 overlaps in everything. So we have a 5 and a 5. So then I'm going to have a 6 and a 4. Yeah, because I have to have 2 8s and 2 7s and 2 6s. Because these are the values that I have. And so the 5 is going to be duplicated. So that 5 is going to end up stuck onto the end of these two. So I think this needs to also have a 6 that's duplicated and a 4 that's duplicated. That's not what a 4 looks like. So it ends up like that. Because I cannot put the 9 or the 1 on the shared space. So it has to be 2, 3, or 4. But if I shared but then I also need another 2. So because I have to place 2 2s in the Fistomathel ring, I wouldn't be able to place a third 2, as in I couldn't share the 2 with another set of digits. So I think it has to be 4, 5, and 5, 6 on all of the shared spots. 4, 5, 6. Where this cannot be a 4. Does that seem reasonable, or do you think I'm missing something?
I think that's reasonable.
Okay. So
Yeah, because the Fistomathel ring, the corners, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4,
mhm.
2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 6, 7, 8, 9.
And the 1 and the 9 can never be shared.
Right.
And if I
There's
tried to
1
share,
9, 2 2s, 2 3s.
and so 2 can't be shared with this set of digits.
Right. So yeah, 4, 5, and 6 all have to be duplicated because there's 4 5s, so there has to be 2 5s. They're both shared,
Okay,
or they're shared on both.
yeah. Now, this one cannot have the 9 on it. Because if this was the 9, then I'd have to put 5 or 6 as one of these two. And 7 is one of these here. So that can't be it. This one
Can't
can't
be
be
the
the
1.
1, because this would be 4 and 5. But I can still make everything else work. Why is it so fiddly? What what do I need to... What can I spot to see what I'm missing? I guess I want to ask the question of what these corners can be. So, like, let's say this corner right here. It can never be a 5, and it can never be 3 or 7. And we just showed it couldn't be a 9. And now, down here, well, I think that's what the corners can be, is 1, 2, 4, 6, and 8. And 9 in places that they can be 9. Now, this one couldn't be 2 because the 3 wouldn't be able to connect. So then this couldn't be 8 because the 7 wouldn't be able to connect. I can place a 4 here, so nothing here is going to be interesting. So I know 5 is one of those two. If this was 1 through 4, this would be 6. So this would have to be 7, 8, and 1, 9. Or not 1, 9, 6, 9. But this could also be 2 through 5, making this a 3, 4. And then that's 1 or 6. Hmm. Well, I do know that if this is a 1, the 9 has to be on the other side. Because 1 and 9 can't share anything but a 5. If this was 1, 5, 9, then you're going to have a 6 here, and a 4 there. So am I wrong? I might be wrong. 1 and 9 may not have to be across from each other. I want 1, 9 to be across from each other. That makes things easier. So what am I missing? Well, this can't have a 2 on it. And it can't have a 9 on it. So this is one of the high sides. And that can't be fine. Okay, and this one can't have an 8. Because then it would work with the 7. So then this one has to be one of the low ones. And if this is high, and this is low, the problem is that a 6 is shared. Now, does this 5, 6 have to be that 5, 6? Well, no, because the 5 and the 6 are different. But we do know that this 4 has to be this 4.
The 4 that is shared.
This 6 is that. Now, it doesn't have to go exactly like this.
Right.
But this 4 connects the 1, 2, 3 to the 6, 7, 8, 5. And the 6 from the 5, 7, 8, 9 connects to the 6 that goes 2 through 6. So if this is the shared 6, then we've got 7, 8, 9 on it, and 2 through 6 on the other side.
But that can't be the shared 6 with the 7, 8, 9 on the top.
Why not?
Because the other end, the other shared digit, has to be 5.
5.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, it can. Never mind.
So if this was 4,
If that's 4, then the shared digit in column 7 is the shared 5.
yeah. So those are my 2 chains. So make this look correct. So if I want the 6 in the top right shared digit, then it could go 7, 8, 9, and then before that 9 would be the 5. And it's the shared 6. So then this would have to go 4, 3, 2, and then our shared 5. And so this would be my shared 4, and the shared 4 has above it either 1, 2, 3, or 6, 7, 8. But this one has to be high, so this would have to be 8, 7, 6. and then 1, 2, 3. Because we know that this one here is low and this one here is high.
Right.
And the other version, which I kind of want to do here, then the other version is that this is the 5, and this one's the 5. Now this one has to be low, so it can still be 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this is going to have to be 6, 7, 8. And this has to be high. But I've already used the 6, 7, 8. So this is 7, 8, 9. So this must be the shared 6. Two, three, 4. But that was if I made this the 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
If I make this one instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, but I instead make it the low, that's 2, 3, 4, 6. And the shared digit up here is going to be a 4. This still has to be high, but the opposite side of the shared 6 is 7, 8, 9. This one has to be high, but it's going to be 6, 7, 8, and 4. And then this would be 1, 2, 3. Where the 1 has to go in the corner. So I think these are the possibilities. Because if this is the shared 6, it has to have 2, 3, 4, and 5 above it, and 6, 7, 8, 9, or 7, 8, 9 going down. Or can I flip those? Yeah, I think I can. because if I make the shared 6, it still has to be a 4. Because I went 7, 8, 9 going down.
Right.
But if I instead make it 7, 8, 9, I'm on the top. And then this is 6, 7, 8 going down. So this is 6 and 8. So this would have to be 1, 2, 3. So we'll go 1, 2, 3 like this. And then 4, 3, 2. Well, actually, the 4 would have to be here. So those are my 4 options. So this has to be the 9. Okay, and actually, in most of the cases, I have 1 and 9 on the same side.
Well, with the fives, doubled duplicated fives in rows 3 and 7,
Uh-huh.
you have the duplicated 4s and 6s in the same spot. What about reversing the 4s and 6s?
I can't,
You can't.
because
Oh, right,
this
because
one can't be
of
a
where the
4.
4 is.
Yeah.
Right. Forgot.
So actually, this cannot be a 6.
Right.
What am I missing? I mean, I've guaranteed that the bottom left is low, and the top, or excuse me, the bottom is low, the left is high, but I don't know whether or not it's high with a 9 and low with a 1, or low with a 2 or high with an 8. Which I said that in a confusing way. Okay. But if this cannot be low, then that means it has to be either this group or this group, which means this isn't a 4, and neither can this be a 4. Because the 4 is either shared, well, I mean, the 4 has to be shared in the high group, or it doesn't have one. So in the low group, it either doesn't have a 6, or the 6 is shared. Because it either doesn't have it, or it's shared, so it can't be on a non-shared place. So this must be low as 1, 2, 3, 4, or excuse me, 1, 2, or 4, which means I cannot use 1 and 4 as my low digits in here, which means 2 is no longer in this spot. And this cannot have 9 as the high digit, which would pair with a 6, which means I no longer have an 8 in the diagonal part. Okay. Now what? So this can still be low with a 5. So if this was 2 through 5, then we'd have 3, 4 here. That would force this to be a 1.
Right.
Or this can be high, and then this one's low. But it could be 1, 4, and a 2, 3, which would make this 1 or 4. Or this can be 2 through 5, which is going to give me a 3, 4, which makes this 1 or 2. So the only one that fixes anything is if this is the low 2 through 5. Same if this was the high version.
Right.
5 through 8. Okay. The 3 and the 4 means that I cannot make both of these low, but I also cannot make both of them high. And the same is true over here. So one of these is high, one of these is low, one of these is high, and one of these is low. So on the right side, top to bottom, it's a high-low pair, and this is a high-low pair.
Well, and right to left is a high-low pair because you can't make both of them high because they both require a 7.
Right.
Or
So
both highs require a 7.
that means if this is high, this one's high.
Right.
So if these two are the same, okay, well, wait. They can't both be high.
Because they both require a 7.
So they have to be opposites. So if this is high, that one's low. But this cannot be high, because if this was low, then that would be high. That doesn't work. So this must be low, this one high, this one low, and this one high.
Right.
Because these can both be low, and these can both be high. But these can't both be high, that would break. And because these can't both be high, because they would both require a 7, if this was high, low, and then this couldn't be low again, so it would be high, and then they can't be both high. So, so that proved that this one was a low group, right? Because
Yeah.
if it was high, low, high, broken because of the double 7. So this is low, and it can't be 1 through 4, therefore it must be 2 through 5. Where we get a 3 here and a 4 here. And now this is high, but that doesn't matter because this
One's
one,
low.
yeah, because this one must be high now. So 1, 2, 3 is gone. But it can't use a 9, so it has to be 5, 8 with 6, 7. So now 6, 7 is gone. 8 is gone. 2, 3, 1, and 4. 5 and 2. 8 and 5. And this is high, but I've already used my 2 5s. So 6, 9, 7, 8. 7 here. 8 here. 6, 7, 9. Excuse you. 9, 6, 6, 8, 9. This just is a 9, because that was that way. a 1. And now this doesn't have a 6.
Well, since that's
And
a
now this can't be a 9.
4-5 pair, and that's a 5-6 pair in the others, yeah. And the 6 is doubled, so the 5.
Yeah. Now, so this is 2, 3, 4. This is 5, 6, 7, 8. Ones are gone. 9s are gone. And then the 7 across the middle is going to make that 8, 7, 6, 8, and 7. 3s across the middle, 2, 3, 4, 2, and 3. Okay, now we get rid of the coloring. Let me just unleave the coloring. It made me sad to take it away.
Well, the diagonals, 9 pairs with 6. And 1 pairs with 4.
3, 7. What's left?
2 and
I don't see.
2 and 8. No, yeah, 2 and 8. So row 5, okay, column 5 is 6 and 9. And 1 and 9, yeah.
Two, 5, 7, 8. This one. Nothing can be 8. Wah. I can't put 2 8s up here because I wasn't able to put an 8 on here. Okay. If I look in this corner, okay, I know the 5s have to be on shared digits. Because if I didn't put the 5 on the shared digit, there would be 5 5s, and then the 5s would have to go into these corners, and then I wouldn't be able to make 1 and 9 work, and that would do 1 and 9 in here, and that doesn't work. So 5 must be shared. So now I ask the question of what can this corner be? It can't be a 5, and it can't be a 3 or a 7. And it cannot be a 9 because the shared digits have to be 4, 5, or 6. Where this one's not a 4, so this one can't be a 6. Because these are the only ways that those digits work. And so, I cannot make this a 9 or an 8 because I couldn't put a 7 anywhere else. And so this can't be 5, 3, or 7. And now I can't make it a 1 because I wouldn't be able to place a 3. Can't do a 2 for the same reason. So now it's 4, 6, 8, or 9. And so now I ask the question, can this be low? No. If this can be high in any way, that would place the 7 here. So this is either 5 through 8 or 6 through 9. A 7 is here, so then this cannot be high, it must be low. Then I can't duplicate low because it's either 1, 2, 3, 4 or 2, 3, 4, 5. And if this is already low, I can't use 2 4s. So then this ends up being high, I'd have to use another 7, and that would break. So this cannot be high, this must be low. So this is 1 through 5. I cannot do, well, I still have the option to make this a 6. But, looking at the low version that has a 6, that 6 must be shared, or it just simply doesn't have a 6. So I can take this 6 out. So now, this can't be 1 through 4. So now, 2 and 5 are gone, 3 and 4 are gone, 4 and 3. It must be like this. This must be a 1. So then we don't have a 6. And this must be 2, 3. So now, since this is low, this one up here must be high. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the 9's not here. Neither is the 5. And the 7's not there. Now, this one is low, so this one can't be low, because if it was low, then it would have to include a 3. So this one must be high, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, where the 7 is not on the high side, and 5 and 9 is not on the diagonal. But it must include 6 through 8, so 6 and 8 is gone, and I can't place a 4 here, because the 4 is either not part of the high digit set, because it's 9 through 5, or it must be shared. So this must be a 9, which takes 9
Right,
out.
and 7 has to appear in row 3 on the blue. In box 2. Because there's 2 7s.
Right. So now I also need an 8 in here. And that 8 can't go here, so the 8 must go here. This is a 9, so neither of these is 4. So this is 5, that's 6. This is a 7, 8 there. This is the high version. I already have a 6, so this is a 5, so that must be a 4.
And in boxes 1 and 7, we already have the 5 used. The 2 5s.
Boxes 1 and 7.
Those are the 2 5s.
Yeah.
So box 3 cannot have a 5 in it.
Right. 5.
So it's 6, 9,
6.
7, 8, yeah.
And this is high, this one's high, so this one must be low. And it must be the 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 4, 2, and 3. This is the 6, that's the 2, that's the 3, and 4. 5 and 2, 8 and 5, 7, 8, 6, 7, 9, 6. Okay. Now, if I look at the diagonal here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Wait, hold on. I have 2 4s.
Does not work.
These have to be 6, 7, 8. And I've already used the 9 in the row. And the box. And since 5 has to be shared, that has to be a 4. This is broken. Okay. Something's wrong with the logic that we did, so we're going to have to just try this one again.
Obviously, yeah.
Alright, whatever. We'll just completely, well, I guess open it in Logic Masters Germany just to have the, oh, blackjack bits. Yep, it's this one. And people are rating it as an average puzzle, so we're overthinking something.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what happens. I'm just gonna get rid of all of that. We'll just redo the logic next time.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, that's a disappointing end, but you know what? That's what happens when we do it live. With that, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fancy YouTube engagement stuff. Outside of that, thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.